Hello, welcome to my channel, Earthbound Secrets. Here I am, just chilling out. Oh my gosh. And I'm thinking to myself, in times of stress, I really do fall heavily on spirituality and religion for my comfort. Honestly, I'm just like, oh, please take me away from all this. And I think a lot of people do this whenever there are times of need, you're stressed out, you don't know what's going on, you want to find some sense of meaning and purpose in life, and you go, hey, religion, spirituality, that's kind of interesting. Maybe they've got some good ideas. I've been looking at Glastonbury lately and what's been going on with the Goddess conference up there. And I've been thinking to myself, gosh, that looks lovely. Gosh, that looks like such a nice event. They did get into a little bit of heat over a bonfire that they had, which a lot of people are quite angry about because we're in a drought right now. There's a drought across the southwest region in general, and we're quite worried about fires, as you would be. And so when it was seen that people were prancing around a massive bonfire, I thought, that's a little bit risky, guys. That's a little bit dangerous. Maybe we shouldn't be encouraging people to light massive fires when we're in the middle of a drought, and wildfires can spread very easily. So there's been a bit of a backlash about that, and I think, yeah, I know for myself, I've been to an event before where it was August, the fields are dry, and we're all getting ready to burn a wicker effigy. And we're like, yeah, this is going to be great. We're going to have a massive burning effigy in the field. It's going to be really fun. We're all going to dance around it. And then fire service sort of stopped by and said, yeah, guys, you can't do this. It's dangerous. Can't even have a barbecue. Not even a barbecue. Forget about it. So fire was strictly prohibited on that event, and we're all very disappointed. But the show goes on, and you figure out a different way of celebrating. We don't need to light a massive bonfire to celebrate the seasons. And honestly, I think this time of year we should be more focused on water as a focal point for our celebrations. So I would rather see something to do with rivers and springs and lakes and the sea and all this stuff, really, at this time of year. And what I'm getting to is people reconnecting with nature in the best way they know how. And yeah, we are going to make some mistakes along the way. Yeah, we are going to fuck up. Nobody's perfect. You're always going to be able to criticize people for, the clothes that they're wearing, the food that they're eating. There are so many ecological impacts in everything that we do. And it's nature spirituality that I think we are in dire need of right now. And I think more and more people right now are becoming very disillusioned, fed up, withdrawn from the online world of total rubbish. And I don't know if you've noticed this, but lately you go online and everything's AI. Literally everything is AI, and you can't get away from it. And it's really annoying because obviously AI is quite good at collating information. That's one thing that it's really good at. It's quite crap at making images. I hate the images. I really do. I mean, they're ugly. But when it comes to collating information, it's quite good at the sort of summarizing things and bullet pointing things, which is very handy, especially when you're trying to trawl through all of these different adverts and websites that are just cluttered up with nonsense, and you're like, oh, where's the information? Give me the information. I'm a fan of Wikipedia for my information because it's just a good way to kind of like have all this information in one place and easily sort through it. Anyway, the whole online experience is becoming exhausting, honestly. I want to put value back into folklore. And when I say folklore, what I really mean is the traditions, beliefs, customs of common people, the things that human beings devise for themselves without sort of corporate interests. The things that we do just to entertain ourselves, to fulfill our life purpose, to give ourselves some enjoyment, to, have a bit of fun. The things that we say and do and the traditions that we like to follow, that's folklore, okay? And it's completely separate to the sort of corporate world of profit seeking, Do you understand what I mean? Mm-hmm. The other day, I was walking down by a river. There were swans. There were little baby swans, little, what are they called? Cygnets? The little baby swans. So cute. Oh my gosh. And in that moment, I was like, bloody hell, this is nice. Gosh, this is actually quite lovely. I can't believe this. And it just made me feel a little bit alive again, a little bit like, oh, here we are in the beauty of nature. And it's always nature that has given me that sense of like, oh, here I am. I'm alive. I'm in the real world. I'm part of this. We're all part of this. We are one with the planet. And it gives me a really lovely feeling. Oneness with nature, understanding that we're all part of this biosphere. Yeah, we're all part of this ecosystem. We're all sharing this together, and we all affect each other. It's all cause and consequence, a little cycle of things being recycled through nature. And isn't that fantastic and mysterious and magical and strange, actually? What is this? What is this? We find ourselves doing really stupid things to nature, all for the sake of what? The economy? What the fuck is that? Money? Made up numbers on a computer screen? Is that why we're doing all this? What the fuck? I don't approve of this system that we have devised. I don't approve of the capitalist system. I think it's stupid, wasteful, and ridiculous. And I think we can do things in a lot more of a rational way, actually. We can be a lot more organized, less chaotic, and have it all planned out. Lovely, nice. Everyone's got everything that they need. Share it all out, guys. Didn't anybody ever teach you to share? It's like one of the most basic things that you teach children is share your toys, stop squabbling, okay? And I feel like that's what humanity needs right now. Share your things. Why are you squabbling? And there's enough for everyone. There's literally enough for everyone, okay? Why are we fighting? First thing I think that is a very good idea to do is to get yourself a little notebook, such as one of these, yeah? And write down things about your local environment, natural habitat, and the seasons and what happens throughout the year. Okay, get yourself a little diary, okay, and little journal, okay, and write about what's happening near you and interesting places around you. The sacred sites, archaeological sites, holy wells. The remains of ancient temples, things like that, okay? This is important. This is really important because I want us to get away from the generic AI slop, okay? And get into something that is very local and very specific to where you are. Become a keen observer of nature, the natural cycles, the sun and the moon, okay? The moon phases, the stars, the constellations. Become an observer of the magic that is all around you, the magic of nature. oh, how stunning, how beautiful. Now we're bringing back a little bit of enjoyment to our lives. Get away from all the online bullshit and look around you, okay? The trees. Oh, what kind of tree is that? And what does it okay, when does that blossom? And what does this do? And where are the apples? Okay, understand your local environment. And it doesn't matter if you're rural or if you're urban, wherever you are, okay, there is nature around you. I think it's actually vital, absolutely fucking vital, that as we are entering an age of climate crisis, that we learn to actually pay attention to nature and value nature and hold the environment up as like something incredibly valuable that we need to protect. I think this would do a huge service to humanity. If we don't seriously change our ways, the human race will be no more because we are destroying our habitat. And without our habitat, we cannot exist. We will not continue to be on this earth if we don't sort this out. And it takes a collective effort. It takes a mass movement, and part of um, creating a mass movement, a global movement, is instilling it with a little bit of spirituality, because that is something that really drives people and really motivates people. And I think, yeah, any religion can do this in their own way. Okay, I'm all up for that. I'm all up for religious freedom and all the different religions of the world getting in on the game, you know? Like, hey, the environment matters. Like, let's talk about this. And let's actually make this an important part of your ethics, your morality as a human being, that you look after the planet, um, so that you are being a good ancestor. You're handing something down to the next generation, and you're not just trashing everything. You know, that's like that's what a morally good person would do, is actually take care of the environment. And I think that should apply to every religion. Surely that should apply to every religion. But I think that uh, in England, for example, this is one of the least religious countries in Europe. And yeah, I don't know what the exact percentages are, but Christianity would be the biggest religion, but it's still a minority compared to people who aren't Christian. Just about. And for all the people that are not interested in religion, there's a reason that they're not interested in religion anymore. It's because it's just not doing anything for them anymore. It's just not serving its purpose anymore. And people need something better. And I think that's where paganism can step up and say, hey, hello, we're back. And we're not necessarily about doing everything the same way that it was done before, but we want to bring back a sense of reverence for nature, and a sense of unity with nature, and oneness with nature, and this animistic worldview. We want to bring that back. We want to bring back this relationship with nature, with the land, the sea, with the sky, with everything, with the planet. And we believe that a huge amount of respect for nature is very important, spiritually, for our well-being. We need this. We need this. This is the medicine that we need to heal society, and that we can look back to old practices, old ways of doing things, old festivals, customs, traditions, and realize that actually a lot of those traditions were based in an understanding of the environment and the seasons, and reconnecting with seasonal rituals, I think, is a really good way to acknowledge that here we are in the real world on planet Earth, and we're not just in some online bubble of a world. We're actually here on the planet experiencing weather and seasons and nature doing its thing, and a seasonal celebration is a way to remind yourself, here you are, and this is what's going on all around you. And this is really important. And this is something that I want to focus more in future videos, is actually talking a lot more about seasonal celebrations, old traditions, old folklore, all the historical information, accurate historical information, rather than AI generated rubbish. Okay. The fact of the matter is that the climate is changing. Okay. This is something that we can see with our eyes. It's very obviously true. But causes and what to do about it and how we can adapt, that is a matter of debate. Okay, great. But there's a kind of dread that exists right now. I feel that there is a general sense of dread concerning the climate and inequality, the billionaires, capitalism, AI. My gosh, AI. The robots taking over. Like, I don't need to remind you that the world is fucked up. It's bad right now, and a lot of people are just honestly exhausted, tired, and don't know what to do. And it doesn't help that we've got these smartphones that we're all walking around with this stupid black rectangle, and it's feeding us a load of rubbish all the time, and we're just like zombified, hypnotized by our phones, and constantly being sort of fed information and questioning what's real, what is even real. We're all confused, we're all tired, we don't have the energy to even be putting our thoughts together as to what is actually going on in the world right now. I'm going on protest after protest about various different things, because there's just so much. There's so much. My current sort of top fear, I would say, is AI and the robots taking over the world. And when it comes to YouTube, oh my gosh, AI, the robots are taking over. They're taking over. And we will find, I think, quite quickly, we will find more and more AI generated videos. I've noticed quite a few videos that have AI generated like voiceover and AI generated script, and there are even sort of AI generated people on here masquerading as humans, but they're actually robotic. And I call them robots, but I'm talking about like purely AI generated images, and they are slowly sort of taking over the internet. I am worried that it's getting easier and easier to generate content that misleads people and pushes out misinformation, and we have a real responsibility to put our foot down, feet, put our feet down collectively, um, and say no. We're not going to have all this rubbish. Like, this is slop. This is absolute slop. It's not tasty or delicious at all. For goodness sake, books, come on, let's hang on to the books, because did you see that thing about the AI data centers destroying books? Did you see that? That was crazy. What the hell is going on? We need to cling on to our books, people, and we need to actually value information that is you know, a resource that is full of facts and data, provable science, history, archaeology, folklore. There's nothing wrong with being creative and having fun, but I don't want people to be misled about what is true and what is not. One of these things that actually pisses me off is corn dollies. If I see one more maize husk doll being referred to as a corn dolly, I will lose my mind. Please stop doing that. Please stop doing that. I can't deal with it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I cannot accept your maize husk doll being referred to as a corn dolly because it's not the same thing. I want to preserve our local customs and traditions because I think they're very unique and interesting, and I don't want this information to just be lost and forgotten. Because I value like historical stuff. I think it's cool, and I think it's very sad when we kind of erase that stuff and replace it with a load of rubbish. Ladies, you're supposed to be all about earth worship, nature, the environment, and here you are just lighting a massive fire during a drought. What are you doing? What are you doing? And I just wanted to say that, yeah, okay, maybe that was a bad idea. And maybe we should actually not be encouraging people to light massive fires during the month of August, generally, or like, a summer long ban, perhaps, because yes, we are experiencing a very unusual summer. And I think it is something that we're going to have to get used to, actually. It's not going to be unusual for much longer. This is going to become normal quite quickly. The fact that it's getting hotter, the environment is having to adapt to climate change. And a lot of pagans and spiritual people don't really like talking about climate change. I'm not going to say I don't know. I don't know what the statistics are about what proportion of people don't really like talking about climate change. But I know from my experience that there are some people who just have this very I don't know what the word for it is when you just don't trust the government. Fair enough, of course, of course. Why would you trust the government? But it's more to do with climate science, and people become very skeptical and get into quite a lot of conspiracy theories concerning climate change, and we open up a whole big can of worms. We're rapidly losing our social abilities. These are skills, and I feel like future generations are just going to be completely different because they'll never have experienced these things, like just going to events for the sake of going and being there and talking to people and having an experience that isn't all about online content, generating content, uploading content. Like what are we doing here? And then I have to ask myself, like, why am I even uploading to YouTube? Who is watching this? Why are you watching this? Turn your bloody phone off and go outside.